We're back on some more Modern Warfare. So we got actually a little bit more information. And by the way, for those of you that are new here and subscribed recently, thanks for subscribing. I upload basically every single day. Vanguard is right around the corner, and content, yeah, I'm ready. Everything that we're hearing about for Vanguard is just a ridiculous amount of stuff to grind through. So definitely not going to be running out of things to do, that's for sure. I might run out of mental, but I don't think I will. I'm stronger now. I'm tempered. I'm more powerful. I'll be able to do all this shit and this on top of it. I had to prove that shit to myself by doing the obsidian thing. I will always pat myself on the... Oh my God damn.
That shit is ass. Turn that shit off. Oh my God.
That jail?
So, okay, so I don't exactly know how I'm gonna be able to title this video without getting in trouble. So, with all of this information coming out and stuff, one of the more notable leakers, the Ghost of Hope, ended up basically taking a picture of them within the menu, and they obviously have no idea how they got any of this information. I don't know how they got the leaks or anything like that. No clue. Obviously, I have no idea how these leakers get all this information and stuff. They got their sources and things like that. But basically, he ended up straight up just posting a picture onto his Twitter. It's definitely running a risk of it, so that's why I'm not using it or whatever. But it's so close to release at this point, it's like, whatever. Basically, Ghost ended up putting a picture up of what looks like to be, it assumed anyway, it could be one of the mastery camos in Vanguard. So I think the best way for me to describe what the camo looks like without obviously showing it, first of all, I'm gonna assume it is animated in some way, shape, or form just from the way that it looks. We're not gonna have like a repeat of like COD World War II where the final one was literally chrome, and the initial chrome wasn't even like good chrome. It was like this weird silver, really. And then they updated it and kind of it looked like it got wiped down with like an alcohol wipe. Like, I'm not even like exaggerating. It actually had like that weird oil-ish kind of effect and reflection off of it. And it did look better, but I think a lot of people would prefer to have like an actual animated, nice looking camo for their weapon if they're going to spend all of this time grinding through all of it. And the things that they've shown, they got the weapon camos for multiplayer and zombies. So those are two completely separate grinds in themselves. Then you got the operator grinding things, which they also give like weapon bonuses for like their favorite weapons and things like that. So that's interesting. So you can unlock like operator final skins. So that might be an entirely other grind as well. And who knows if something happens if you unlock all of the operator skins for all of each other. Maybe there's like an ultra operator skin for across the board or something. I don't know. But most people would obviously want it to look nice. So the way that most people are describing it is like red dark aether. Kind of. It's like, it's sort of like that. The reason I say sort of is because you don't see how the animation goes. You also don't know if it's like potentially reactive, maybe? I don't know. I mean, I doubt that. That would be probably the best mastery camo we had gotten since like what? Black Ops 4 Dark Aether? Black Ops 4 Dark Aether was pretty crazy. Dark Matter, sorry. I'm pretty close to Obsidian on this one. There's a few weapons I don't have Obsidian for at this point. Some Dark Matter as well, but it's whatever. They get everything for every gun on Vanguard, though, that's for sure. Also, I mean, by the time this video is up, the UFC event is probably going on. Even on the prelims, it's like, it's stacked. On the prelims, Amanda Hebos is back. Main card, we got Magomed Ankalaev versus Volkan Oezdemir. Ankalaev, I mean, he could be a real threat at light heavyweight, so... stylistically, he's kind of a nightmare matchup for a lot of people, so we'll see how he goes and everything, but... Li Jinliang versus Khamzat Chimaev. Chimaev has an incredible amount of hype around it. They got an insane amount of views on that main card. Like, if you go and look at all the videos and stuff with Chimaev on the thumbnail, and Li Jinliang is matching his energy of, like, savage shit. Like, they are not scared of each other at all. Not that you get a whole lot of fighters that are, you know, shaking in their boots to each other or whatever, but, like, you could just tell that they're both just ready to just swing. This is gonna be a good matchup, but Chimaev is like a 5-1 favorite. I mean, to be honest, though, I think Lee has a chance. I think Chimaev might be underestimating him a bit, but he obviously, he does have holes in his game. He could just end up getting wrestled to death. Chimaev seems like a very, very well-rounded dude, and this is at 170 as well, so oh yeah, but also, Chimaev is coming back from being sick with, you know, can't say it on YouTube. And he nearly missed weight. He ended up getting it later, but when he initially weighed in, he ended up missing. So that's something that had never happened as well. So after, you know, being sick and then missing weight and things like that, it could have been a lot harder than he's making it seem in terms of like his cut and how he's feeling overall in terms of just his athleticism and whatever. We don't know exactly what kind of fighter we're going to get at the end of this. It would be huge for the Li Jinliang to actually knock him out or finish him in some way. If Li Jinliang is going to win, it will be by knockout. there's no way he's gonna out-grapple him. Volkov versus Tybura. Tybura's kind of a bad matchup for him, but I think Volkov is really dangerous, and he's just gonna be really good at managing distance. Makhachev versus Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's a legend. I hope Dan Hooker wins, but Makhachev is no fucking joke. Khabib is like touting him as like one of the best, or wants him to be like one of the pound for pound, whatever. Like Khabib is really blowing this dude up, and I mean, he's definitely a different style from Khabib. A lot of people like to try to compare him to Khabib, but he definitely has a different style than Khabib has. I think his striking is also better than Khabib's. It's a little bit more versatile than what Khabib had, but I think his grappling is also just fundamentally a little different. It's tweaked. Peter Yan versus Corey Sandhagen. Peter Yan is literally like a Terminator. It's insane. But I really want Corey Sandhagen to win this, and I actually think Corey is a bad matchup for Peter Yan. We'll see. You know what I mean? But I think he's a bad matchup for him. Corey's last fight that he ended up having, his takedown defense looked great. That used to be a hole in his game that a lot of people would try to talk about, but it seems like he really shored that up when he was fighting TJ Dillashaw. Now, although he lost that fight by decision or whatever, you can make the argument that he ended up winning it or whatever, but in terms of dangerous, just finishing potential, Corey Sandhagen is a freak. I love his style. I like the way that he just conducts himself in general when he's talking. He just explains everything in this very calm, cool, educated demeanor, but he doesn't look like the type of dude that would just whoop your ass. Does that make sense? Like, if you just saw him walking around in the street, you wouldn't think that he knows how to whoop your ass the way that he does. I don't know. It's really cool. He has just a really cool demeanor to me. But regardless, I mean, all of these fights, regardless of who I want to win, dude, or who I think is going to win, every one of these fights are just bangers. Stylistic, just treats. And Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira. I think Glover, I mean, obviously he's on his way out. That's all anybody's even talking about. And to be honest, if Glover somehow does make that upset, if he makes that actually happen, what is he? He's a 3-1 underdog or some shit. Him and Blachowicz are very well-rounded fighters, and Blachowicz really proved himself when he beat Adesanya in terms of his striking intelligence and shit. Can't wait to try and unlock whatever this new mastery camo is. Now, the thing is, now with one of them being leaked, I mean, it's probably only a matter of time until the other one gets leaked as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure the last couple years we already had them leaked. Dark Aether and Dark Matter Ultra were also leaked, I think, before the game even came out. For Cold War. Working those guys. 47-4. How do I only die 4 times on shipment? I'm so ready to just grind this shit out. I'm gonna run this controller into the ground. 0 cap time, baby. Still on top. I mean, if the game didn't punish me for winning, I would try a little bit harder to win, but... So obviously, I think you could probably find it really easily. I'm pretty sure Charlie Intel and other people already published articles on it and shit like that with the images in there, so I'm still not gonna show it, but I mean, just from looking at just the still images of it, there's 2 different images. There's one where it's sitting like in the selection menu, and then the other one where it's sitting just like on the table with the rest of the loadout, and it looks pretty great. So I have to assume that its counterpart probably over on multiplayer has to be somewhat equivalent to it. I really, really hope that it's not going to be kind of a repeat of this one where Dark Matter Ultra is just kind of underwhelming. It kind of just looks like jelly. You know what I mean? It changes colors, it's neat and all, but it's not necessarily reactive. It just kind of goes through a cycle. And it's not nearly as nice looking as Dark Aether. From the beginning, everyone had determined that they're just going to hop into zombies and grind that shit out so they can use Dark Aether. The issue with their whole approach there was that the zombies camo didn't make it into Warzone until like 10 months later. Hopefully this time around, it's not going to be the case, because that's just kind of shitty in general regardless. And obviously, since I'm going to unlock them both, yeah, I really want them to work in Warzone too. That would be expected. They announced over on the PlayStation exclusive things. Before the last couple years, they did like these stupid modes that no one gives a fuck about, like Spec Ops and stuff. I don't even remember what the other one is. Is it Outbreak? Or like a year exclusive thing where you can only play it over on PlayStation because of the whole exclusivity deal that they have. Also, with the shipment classes, it might be the play to go and use Overkill with the Riot Shield, just like it is on. I'm hoping all these fights are good. I'm gonna wake up excited for it and shit. It'll be great to wake up in the morning and see that. It'll be a little weird, but it'll be cool. And now that we know, at least, maybe it looks like a zombies thing. It's not confirmed to be a zombies thing, but since the zombies, you know, kind of theme is a lot of red and things like that, it's assumed that it's probably the zombies mastery camo. Who knows? It could just not be a mastery camo at all, and we are in for some real shit. I'm ready.